Scrat looks for his acorn and finds it in that place, but when he reaches it, it's gone. Noticing a shadow passing by, Scrat goes to look and sees it's a girl named Scrat. Scrat falls in love with her, but when he sees she has the acorn, he gets mad and pulls the acorn away. The girl gets offended and pretends to cry, so Scrat offers her the acorn, but she acts like she doesn't want to take it. Then the two of them struggle, and Scrat flies away. Saying, "Oh my," Scrat jumps down after her. They both grab the acorn and romance happens. Don't think it ends there, the girl takes the acorn and flies up high. Scrat falls, and a cloud of dust rises in the shape of a heart. The mammoths almost step on him. Manny's wife Ellie is pregnant. So Manny, thinking, don't let anything hurt her, makes everyone stand on guard. It turns out the baby just kicked inside its mother. Sid goes to the three badgers, Crash and Eddie, and asks, "Are you guys pregnant too?" The badgers say, "Hey, what pregnant, you dummy," and walk away. Elsewhere, Diego is chasing an antelope, he comes running and running. But suddenly his breath runs out and he stops. Seeing this, the antelope mocks him and comes close to him. Manny brings Ellie to the playground he built himself. He made sculptures out of ice so she wouldn't get bored. "Hey, where am I?" asks Sid, popping out. Manny says, "Scram, you are not a kid to be with us." Manny removed sharp points so there would be no danger to the baby. Sid seems to have found a sculpture of himself. But he breaks the head that was barely standing, holds it in, and leaves the playground acting like nothing happened. Diego comes, and when Manny invites him to see the playground, he says he will see it later. Ellie suggests to her husband to try talking to him. Manny says guys don't talk like that, guys show it face to face. But since his wife insists, Manny goes to Diego to talk. But Diego doesn't understand this soft talk and announces that he will be leaving the herd soon. When asked why, he says he wants to start his own family. Manny gets offended asking, "Don't you want to see my child?" and leaves. Manny goes to his wife and tells her that guys don't talk like that, and informs her that Diego is leaving. Sid tells Diego, "We will have a baby," but Diego says, "No Sid, not us, they will." And he says everything has changed now, before everything was great, but now he must go, and he says goodbye and leaves the herd. Sid says, "Fine, I will find friends and make a herd," but when he comes to the kids, they hide because they don't want to talk to him. "At least I am handsome," he says looking at his reflection, but the ice cracks and he falls down. Saying, "Who is here?" "Hello." Sid finds 3 eggs. Then Sid decides to take them under his care and brings them to the surface. When he gets tired of rolling them, one of the eggs rolls down. Sid runs after it and catches it, but the other 2 go down too. Sid grabs the first one and rushes to catch the others. However, he can't do it with his hands, so he uses his feet, and at one point it goes in and out of his nose. Then saying, "Oof, I caught it," they fly off a ramp. Sid somehow catches them, but the third one falls to the ground in a disaster. "Don't worry, Ellie caught it." Sid goes down and expresses his gratitude. He introduces her to the future babies, Egbert, Shelley, and Yoko. Manny demands he return these eggs to where he got them, stating they are not his born children and that one day their real mother will come looking for them. Offended, Sid decides to leave. Ellie tries to stop Sid, but Manny says he will come back anyway. While Sid is coming with the babies, it rains and the paint on the eggs starts to flow. Sid says, "Don't cry," and brings them into a cave. So they don't get cold, Sid wipes them, but their appearances get completely messed up. Sid says, "Maybe I am not ready for this." When sunlight hits the eggs, seeing the little ones inside, Sid hugs them. From the place where Sid fell and took the eggs earlier, a roar of a beast is heard. This must be the mother of the eggs. Suddenly, the babies hatch from the eggs. When Sid wakes up and starts walking, the dinosaurs follow him and walk just like him. They shake their butts just like him. The 3 say, "Mama," and look at Sid amazed. He hugs them and says, "I became a mother too." Sid washes his children and plays ball with them. Then they sleep together. In the water, piranhas see the dinosaur's teeth and flee. Then they say, "Here my pee. Uppy, fetch the ball." It turns out the ball they played with was Scrat. The three dinosaurs start licking Sid. At one point they bite him. The predators have awakened. Understanding they are hungry, Sid goes to a cow-like animal and says, "Let me milk you." It turns out to be a bull, and he chases him. Sid grabs the udders, but flies away or falls into the ravine and comes out with a bubble. One bubble splits in two. Scrat and Scrat fight for the acorn inside, and finally Scrat gets the acorn. However, he falls down and breaks through the ice. Coming to the playground, Sid tells his children, "You cannot enter here, Manny will scold, only kids enter." Then he says, "Wait, you are kids," and lets them in. Seeing other kids enter, everyone rushes into the playground. A badger attacks the dinosaur, but they throw him off. But it is clear the dinosaurs are stronger. One of them grabs an anteater kid and eats him. The mother cries and complains to Manny. Understanding the situation, Manny comes to the playground. The dinosaur is squeezing the kid out that he swallowed. And the family sculpture Manny made falls and gets ruined. Crash and Eddie look at each other and say, "It's a pity we weren't the ones who destroyed everything." Manny gets angry that they eat children and scolds Sid. Sid says, "He spit them out though." The mammoth says, "Yes, good job, give him a medal," sarcastically mocking him. The dinosaur baby gets happy. Manny demands they take them back quickly. Sid says, "I won't give my children." Suddenly, the mother of the children arrives. She is looking for her babies. Sid runs into a cave taking the babies. Manny says, "Quiet, don't move." But seeing her, they scream and run, so everyone has to run. As the dinosaur passes the cave where Sid is, one child cries, and the mother recognizes her child's voice. Manny demands Sid return them to their mother. Sid asks, "How do you know it's their mother?" Manny says, "Do you need an analysis? She is a dinosaur, you idiot." When Sid says he won't give the babies to the dinosaur mother takes him along with the babies. Diego watches from the side, surprised that he notices Sid. The mammoths follow the dinosaur's tracks and approach an icy cave. Crash and Eddie say, "He died, what a pity, we are going back," but Ellie stops them. Manny says Ellie should go home, and he will go alone. Ellie says, "Yeah right," and enters the cave first. Manny says, "When we save Sid, I'm going to kill him." So they are in the cave. And here is a dinosaur skeleton. Ellie says, "If I say the short word peaches, it means I am in labor and you must find me." It seems a monster walks here. When Manny and others come out of the cave, oh my, it's a dinosaur world. Suddenly an evil dinosaur comes out from behind and Manny and others run. But while trying to escape, the possums get stuck and are about to be eaten, but Diego saves them. Manny sees Diego and asks what he is doing here. When Diego says he is looking for their friend Sid, Manny goes, "BBB." They get trapped by a girl, dinosaur, but luckily the dinosaur's tail gets stuck in a tree. Ellie calls the vegetarian dinosaur with grass, and they escape from the evil dinosaur. However, many other dinosaurs surround them. Someone is playing in the shadows and saves them from being eaten. He comes out of the water and wrings himself out. That one-eyed weasel's name is Buckminster. Saying Buck for short, he asks what they are doing here. When our guys say, "We are looking for our friend the dinosaur," Buck says, "He died, now leave." Ellie informs him that they will find Sid and then leave. Diego finds a trail. Buck comes out and announces, "You will see your friend in the afterlife." When asked, "How do you know that?" Buck licks the ice and tastes it, reporting that the dinosaur mother passed here with 3 babies and a clumsy little, floppy thing. Manny says, "Hey, that floppy thing is our friend." Diego is surprised asking, "Did you know that through the ice?" Buck states, "No, I just saw them going towards the lava on this path. In the lava, they will eat the little babies." He informs them that one can only reach it through the jungle of misery, the chasm of death, and the plates of woe. Manny says, "Yeah, you go keep wandering Buck. We are leaving." Buck declares, "You cannot fight the giant dinosaur Rudy here without teeth or claws." He shows, this is what Rudy does. The two crazy possums say, "Wow, did he give you a facelift? You look handsome." Buck disappears. Not listening to Buck, our guys leave. Scrat also fell into the dinosaur world when the ice broke earlier. Then a tree falls on him, and falling down with the tree, he grabs the acorn. That is, to his chest. Scrat spins on the tree, the acorn is ripped from his chest, and he rolls it.
Hearing screaming voices, Ellie says it really is the jungle of misery. Noticing plants watching them, Ellie says she feels weird, and Manny gets worried asking, "Are you hungry? I will bring fruit," and runs. Diego tries to warn him not to touch anything, but Manny says, "Oh, don't be afraid of a fruit," and when he pulls it, the plant grabs them and prepares to swallow them. The opossums try to help, but fail and retreat. Just as Ellie is about to go help, Buck stops her and promises to help himself, announcing that the plant digests quickly and the giant digests slowly. Buck dives in to help and enters the plant. Inside, thinking it's like a bomb here, which were to cut, he decides to cut the red one. But that doesn't help and aggravates the situation. Buck's knife falls, Ellie is fighting the plant's vines outside. Finally, Buck cuts the blue balls with his knife, and they come out safe and sound. Ellie asks Buck to help save their friend. Buck says, "Okay, I will help, but I have my rules. Rule number 1, always listen to Buck. Rule number 2, always walk in the middle of the path. Rule number 3, who makes a noise walks in the back." Explaining his rules, Ellie walks back. Sid is suffering on the road. The dinosaur mother brings the babies and Sid. She puts the babies down and wants to eat Sid. However, she sneezes and snot comes out. The dinosaur mother cleans him and Buck sends the skeleton to Manny and others saying everything will be fine. But they get stuck halfway. Buck warns them not to breathe. Unable to hold it, the opossums breathe and get happy saying, "We didn't die, everything is fine." However, their voices become high-pitched. "What's your reason?" Then Diego and Manny breathe and start laughing at their changed voices. Buck warns them to stop laughing. Ellie asks, "What is there to laugh at?" Buck shows that everyone who died here died laughing. Ellie tries not to laugh, but they can't stop. Now this is poison. Never use poisonous things that harm your life. Otherwise, your brain will stop. Buck goes to get them out, but after talking and breathing, he also struggles with louder, so Ellie goes to get them out. Then they regain their senses and forget Buck. The dinosaur babies are hungry, Sid offers them vegetables, but they don't eat. Their mother brings a dead animal. Sid doesn't let them eat it and says, "Eat broccoli." But it doesn't work, seeing his strength another dinosaur eats him. Their mother brings other meat, and the babies devour the meat like steaks. Suddenly a dinosaur roar is heard, and the dinosaur mother hides in a cave with her babies and said, "This is the giant dinosaur. Look how giant is this. This is definitely not the dinosaur mother's husband, the giant dinosaur is big. This must be Rudy." Elsewhere, they show a puppet show to Buck. And since the sun is setting, they announce they will stay here. At the chasm of death, Scrat and Scrat are laughing. Buck starts telling his story. In his youth, the giant dinosaur Rudy attacked him, and he was left without an eye. Buck escaped and climbed a tree, bandaged his eye and armed himself with a tree. But Rudy swallowed him. However, he stuck inside his mouth and swung back and forth like a pendulum, and breaking a tooth, he came out of his mouth. This is Rudy's tooth. When it is time to sleep, Buck decides to keep watch. The two opossums say, "We will help you." But suddenly they fall asleep snoring. The dinosaur mother puts her babies in the cave, and Sid is left alone below, unable to climb. However, when he lays down to sleep, the dinosaur mother lifts him up, and he sleeps hugging the babies in the nest. Sid tells the dinosaur mother, "You are kind after all." Rudy passes by nearby. Ellie wakes up and sees no one is near, so she starts looking for everyone. Suddenly an evil dinosaur comes out and tries to eat her. This was Manny's nightmare. When Manny approaches his wife, Ellie wakes up. Manny apologizes to her because he brought his wife to a dangerous place. Ellie says, "It's not your fault, we must save Sid." Manny says, "If I was a good friend to him, we wouldn't be here." Buck says, "Good friend how," and jokes, "You are putting your wife and child in danger to save your friend. You are a super friend, I think." Scrat and Scrat run past Diego, fighting for the acorn of course, but it's like a tango dance. Finally, Scrat gets the acorn, they jump, but the girl slips and falls, and Scrat holds her. In the morning, the rescuers continue their way and come to the place where Sid was. It was the place where the girl Sid wanted to feed the babies. Buck tells two versions of what happened. In one version the dinosaur ate Sid. And in the second version, conversely, Sid killed the dinosaur. Very unconvincing, of course. Diego notices a footprint. Rudy walked here and destroyed the rock formation. Scrat saves Scrat.
Scrat climbs up through Scrat's teeth and gets to a safe place. And pulling Scrat up by her hand, the two fall in true love. The acorn became irrelevant to Scrat. He found his true soulmate. Manny's are walking over the plates of woe, over the rocks. On the way, Ellie asks, "What is this saying?" Buck answers, "This is the wind, it is speaking to us." Ellie asks, "What is it saying?" Buck says, "I don't know, I don't understand it." Dinosaurs are walking down below. Ellie's stomach hurts, but she tells her husband everything is fine. The rocks crack and break, Ellie stays up and the others fall down. Everyone is safe, but Ellie's stomach hurts more. The labor has started, indeed. The dinosaur family continues their way, but Sid gets tired and falls behind. Then he meets Rudy. Buck recognizes his roar, but then Sid screams. "I don't know this dinosaur," he says. But the friends recognize it is Sid. Up above, Manny cannot remember the fruit name Ellie mentioned earlier, saying grapes. That is, labor started, Sid barely remembers and screams peaches. Manny goes, "Oh my." Ellie asks the stupid question, "Can you hold it in?" and her time has come. Buck decides to take the possums with him and leave Manny to watch Ellie. Diego will help Manny. Down below, the dinosaurs are ready to attack. On the other side, Sid escapes from Rudy and climbs a tree. But it is useless, suddenly the earth crust cracks from Rudy's claw. It cracks, and the part where Sid stands is going towards the lava waterfall. Buck and the possums jump down, tame a flying dinosaur and rush to help. Diego finds Manny and Ellie, gray dinosaurs want to reach her. Following their plan, Diego goes to help Ellie, and Manny will tire out the gray dinosaurs. Diego rushes up, a dinosaur is chasing him. There is little road left, he gets tired and breathless. But since danger is looming over his friend's wife, he gathers his wits, steps on the gas, and knocks the dinosaur over. Diego rejoices at his victory, his breath didn't stop. Ellie says, "You know how to push, right?" and pushes. Diego says, "Now Manny will come." Manny is fighting his dinosaurs. Ellie says, "Hold me," and squeezes Diego's hand hard. Suddenly a dinosaur comes from behind, and Diego kicks him to the side. The wise possums see where Sid is. The dinosaurs chase them, and our guys have to fly another way. Manny fights his dinosaurs and locks them in the cave. Over there Diego also fights them off. The flying group is attacking the dinosaurs behind with fruits they picked on the way. Sid is scared over there. The flyers get into an accident and are falling down. The bird needs to wake up. Buck slaps him and he wakes up. And they soar up into the blue sky and destroy the dinosaurs behind. Sid fell down the waterfall. The flying group catches him from above. Suddenly seeing his babies, Sid says, "Oh, I haven't hugged them properly." Sid worries, thinking, wait, are the dinosaurs heroes? Together they are pushing them down. Then saying Manny died, they slide down another layer, and when they reach Ellie, her daughter is born at that exact happy moment. Manny names her Peaches in honor of the fruit Ellie mentioned. Ellie suggests calling her Peaches. Tears come from Diego's eyes. At that moment Sid reaches them. Sid sees the little baby and starts pampering her. Manny and Diego tell him they are happy to see him and that they missed him. Peaches wants to play with Sid. The possums want to cry from happiness. Buck thinks, what is a family, wondering, then says, "Okay friends, let's go home." Scrat and Scrat are still in love. It seems he is jealous of the acorn from the side. Is the acorn crying? He looks at it with hesitation. Then it's like he connects the wall. Buck says goodbye to his new friends and tells them to live well. Manny says a big thank you to him. Suddenly Rudy comes out of the cave and roars. Then when Manny says let's fight, Buck calls him to himself, tells Manny's to enter the cave and go home. Manny entrusts his daughter to Ellie, and the men run to help. On the way, seeing the innocent dinosaur shaking with fear, unable to go out, Diego calls him, "Coward, coward, come out." Rudy crushed Buck. Oof, he comes out from between the toes and mocks him. However, when Rudy is about to eat him, Diego helps and he survives. Buck waits for the butterflies, they hinder Rudy. Then they tie Rudy's legs and mouth and knock him down. While escaping, Sid trips and stays behind, and when Rudy breaks free and is about to eat him, that kind dinosaur mother appears, pushes Rudy and knocks him into the chasm. Sid looks at his babies. He tells his babies, when you grow up you will be big strong dinosaurs like your mother. And when he tells the mother to take care of the babies, she licks Sid's face. Sid hugs his babies tightly and they leave. Ellie tells Sid he is a good father. Buck is in shock. Rudy died, what do I do now? As if the meaning of life was Rudy. Our guys invite him to go up with them. So they cross that skeleton bridge. When Buck is about to leave Rudy's tooth, Rudy's roar is heard, and he decides to stay in the dinosaur world, says goodbye to Diego and rushes to meet Rudy. And Diego goes to the herd and informs the two possums who asked about Buck that he stayed in the dinosaur world. Peaches sees Snow for the first time and gets happy. Manny and Diego make up. He says he decided to stay in the herd. Manny accepts him as a brother, like Manny. The possums are playing with Peaches, looking at the distant sky. Time passes, they made a sculpture of others too. Even Buck is there, on a raptor. He tamed Rudy too. Scrat is tired of family life and missed the acorn. And runs towards it. The acorn rushes to Scrat, and so they hug. But Scrat doesn't seem pleased with this. She slams the acorn into the ground, a volcano erupts from that place, and they fly up. Scrat tries to deceive with love again, but Scrat says goodbye to the girl who is not for him. And coming to the surface of the ice, when the acorn falls, a piece of ice falls down, and in the end,